and Virginia Wade and Pam Shriver watching.
Love 15.
France.
1 minute.
Only a year ago, and he came into that championship, Mark Cox, very relaxed, coming back from injury, no expectation, and that's rather as he's been here in his last year of top quality play.
Yes, and I think that's a relevant factor. In Paris, he came, as you said, through to the finals, and he's come very gently through this tournament, in fact playing very well. It's a surface grass which lends beautifully to his game, big serve volleying game, a very graceful player, and is a very dangerous competitor. And he comes to this match with really, I suppose, very little expectation in his own mind, though as the tournament draws more to the final stages, that expectation, I think, will change. But Tim Henman, that's the umpire there, Bruno Robert, but of course the great feature of Tim Henman is that he is mentally very tough, and I think if he can get to a quick start in this match, then that will pose problems for Stich to maintain his motivation. He, of course, is ranked very much higher than Michael Stich now, who's announced his retirement at the end of the year. So it's quite a momentous occasion for this man. But he is indeed a very fine player, a grass court player. And one of the features I think we're going to be looking to is how well Michael Stich serves. I think that's going to be a feature today, and that's important for him.
Mum and Dad in situ. Father Tony, Mother Jane. And the salmon pink there was David Felgate's wife, Jan.
First set, Michael Stich to serve. Ready?
So there we go, the second British quarterfinal.
First service. Love.
First attempted pass on the backhand side, which is very much the favoured side of the man serving, Michael Stich. With Stefan Edberg now retired, it's probably the most fluent backhand in the game.
All. (30-15). Service. 30 all.
Let's take that as a roar of encouragement rather than a comment on the double fault. Wonderful return. And the break point.
Well, seeing the ball so well, so early in the match, Henman.
30-40.
And that illustrates it. Break point.
Deuce.
Reaction of the crowd there, an indication of the expectancy that Tim Henman is living with so well. Don't expect any sort of error from him. That's nice.
Advantage team.
Very quickly into the net here, and seeing that Henman's way back, plays a beautiful drop volley. Just caresses the ball, taking the speed off of the ball. Well, magnificent play by Henman. And look at this backhand. That really is his favorite shot, but played to perfection. On the run, gets his shoulder round and his whole weight through that ball.
Advantage team. Quiet, please. Thank you. Jamstik. First game.
And a very interesting opening game. And although Tim Henman wasn't able to break serve with the one opportunity he had, certainly has given Michael Stich quite a lot to think about in that game.
I think what was impressive about Henman in that opening game was that he really made Michael Stich play to the best of his ability to win that first service game. And the 1 or 2 points that Henman played during the game, which were really superb. I think he posed a few question marks for Stich. In fact, he lobbed 3 times in that first game, so that must, during the course of this match, it must get into Michael Stich's mind just a little bit as to whether he's going to hoist the lob or go for the passing shot. So very sound tactics on behalf of Tim Henman, and a little bit unlucky not to have broken the first game.
Number 1 court filling up, but there are still lots of empty seats, which is very disappointing to see at 20-2. The odd spot of rain, but they are continuing for the moment, getting a bit heavier.
Love 15. Play suspended.
Yes, he couldn't.
$40-50. Game Woodbridge. Woodbridge leads 2-1, first set.
Well, certainly in the first two games.
15 love.
The physical concern is the strapping on his left leg. So many of the players seem to get slight groin pulls or upper thigh soreness.
Let for service. Let for service.
Oh!
30-15. (40-15). Game keeper.
Oh, it's a lovely wrong-footing shot from the baseline. One of his strengths.
2 games all.
Renowned for the quality of his ground strokes. Just a steady start from both players.
Love 15. Love 30. (15-30).
The overhead, of course, is one of Todd Woodbridge's great strengths. So the defensive lob is going to have to be rather more testing than that.
This volley quite nicely hit, but from shoulder high. It should have been more into the
15-40.
corner, closer to the sideline. It was right in the sweet spot for Kiefer, just one step and whack, and what a passing shot. Now 2 break points for the German.
30-40.
Too good.
Deuce.
And this is where Todd Woodbridge is going to win this match, if he is going to win it, by moving to the net and trying to exert a grass court game on his opponent, who has some experience on grass, but insignificant compared to Woodbridge.
Surprisingly poor shot from Woodbridge.
It's not much on the volley, and giving Kiefer the opportunity there. He had one more chance and didn't do anything like enough with the lob, and just displaying his disappointment with losing that point. That's something to look for in Todd Woodbridge. When things go badly, he can get cranky.
Game keeper. Kiefer leads 3-2, first set.
Todd Woodbridge not happy at all. He knew that he had the opportunity to win the point at deuce, and he missed 2 or 3 opportunities where he could have done more with the ball. And then the serve, it's always been a bit of a problem for him, and he hates serving double faults, especially on break points, which he's got in common with a lot of people. But it is that sort of frustration of the difficult shot for him, the serve, and just displaying his anguish. And that's something that he's tried to get on top of. Fought well in the first round against Michael Chang, and he had a lot to contend with. He led 5-1 in the 5th set, surfered at 5-2, double faulted on the first 2 points, and still maintained his calm. Even when he double faulted on the first point at 5-4 and was subsequently broken, he was able to get himself back together and eventually win. But, his coach Ray Ruffles is well aware of this area and is trying to help him a great deal. Very important against a younger player not to let them think that they can even be in the match with you. Kiefer serving and very much in the match, leading 3-2 with the break.
A little bit lucky.
Love 15. Love 30. Love 40.
The towel meditation seems to have done the trick.
$15-40.
Kiefer deciding it's time for some serve and volley.
$30-40.
Never mind about the volley.
Again, Woodbridge. Three games all, first set.
Nicholas Kiefer perhaps just showing his inexperience there, particularly playing on a grass court. Clearly a man with heaps of talent.
Love 15.
Good solid return of serve from Kiefer. Just an average volley around the service line, and that set up the chance for Kiefer to go down the line. He was inside the baseline, played it with a lot of assurance, could have gone either way. So again, Todd Woodbridge in trouble on serve at love 30.
15-30.
She didn't quite read the away swing well enough there, moving into it.
$30 all. $40-30. Deuce.
Previous ace from this side was absolute precision. Next first serve was pretty good, but came back with interest.
Advantage Woodbridge. Deuce. Advantage Woodbridge.
Slightly unhappy German. He's probably partly blocking the line judge's view, but the line judge was certain it was a good one.
Deuce.
And, not a bad second serve, but the second serve of Woodbridge really not strong enough to serve and volley all the time, especially against such returns. He has remained on the baseline after some second serves. Fighting on serve. 3-all, Deuce.
Advantage Woodbridge.
Kiefer sometimes a little bit slow coming forward, didn't seem to read that awfully quickly, and when he did get there, didn't have what was required.
Deuce.
And Kiefer very quick around the net, seizing the opportunity to come in, and from a position right on top of the net, made a good shot selection with the drop volley.
Got him again.
Advantage Kiefer.
It's a good return, but Woodbridge hadn't even made the service line.
Deuce.
Woodbridge has faced break points in 3 of his 4 service games.
Advantage Woodbridge. Game Woodbridge, new balls please. Woodbridge leads 4 games to 3.
Well, after the longest game of the match so far, one of 3 quite long games. The first game on Woodbridge serve was a game of 3 or 4 deuces, as was the 5th game, but that one even longer. And despite being down a few break points, Todd Woodbridge hangs on. But he is well aware that he will have to fight every inch of the way and play very well if he's going to win this match. There's the German contingent. Nicky Pilic, the Davis Cup captain and coach, who's working with Nicholas, along with his regular coach, Karl Meiler. And Nicholas looks like he's enjoying a bit of chewing gum on the change of ends. And he's travelling quite comfortably. Maybe a missed opportunity or 2 in the past game, but he doesn't seem to be perturbed at all, in contrast with Todd Woodbridge, who gets a little emotional at times. So with new balls, Nicholas Kiefer serving 3-4.
Love 15. $15 all.
Three Germans in the quarterfinals. That's the most Germans in a Grand Slam quarterfinal in the Open era, along with Becker and Stick.
$30-15.
Previous shot on the baseline
30 all.
looked to be a wee bit long, but nothing more than a glance from Kiefer at the lady minding the baseline.
$40-30. Deuce.
There's actually quite a bit of swirling wind up there, and that retrieving lob from Kiefer very nearly got blown back in. Had Woodbridge worried for a moment.
Advantage Kiefer.
Nicholas Kiefer is actually the 10th different German to reach a Grand Slam quarter-final in the Open era, which would be good news for the German Federation, who've been taking a certain amount of flack in recent times at their apparent lack of success.
Game Kiefer. Four games all, first set.
I say apparent lack of success because it's they've still been doing pretty well, but perhaps come off the high plateau that they've been on for the last few years, with Becker at his prime and Stick at his prime. And Michael Stick now, of course, retiring at the end of the season.
Oh!
$15 love. 30 love.
Something wrong with that German racket. Perhaps it's the workman.
Forty love. (40-15). Game Woodbridge. Woodbridge leads 5-4, first set.
More comfortable game for Todd Woodbridge on serve. It's only one other time. The third game he won it at 15. At that time, a more comprehensive win. I think that will be a confidence booster at this stage of the first set. Kiefer missing again with that last two-hander when there was a lot of room to play the ball in. There's the Australian camp. Nearest the camera. And the view from the players' balcony out over the field courts and on to court 2. The locker room number 2 is for the gentleman is under the stand to the right of your screen. Nicholas Kiefer has probably just moved out of. So Nicholas Kiefer down 4-5 in the first set, and serving to stay in the first set. Very confident start, good first serve. Moved in well, got close to the net, and that made the drop volley a good proposition.
30 love. (40 love). Let first service. Game Kiefer.
Now, that match started at 11 o'clock this morning. We're watching it off tape because we've got a little rain here at Wimbledon just at the moment, and we'll go back to watch it in due course if we need to, if there's a bit more rain about. Of course, live earlier, we were watching Tim Henman just start his quarter-final match against Michael Stich. Stich had held his service in the very first game, and then I'm afraid this rain started pelting down, so we've got a pause here at the moment. And if you're just joining us, let me tell you that the unhappy news for British tennis fans is that Greg Rusedski lost his quarter-final earlier against Cedric Pioline in 4 sets, 6-4, 4-6, 6-4, 6-3. Pioline won. So he's into the semi-final. And in the ladies' first semi-final, Martina Hingis beat Anna Kournikova 6-3, 6-2, so she's into the final. Arantxa Sanchez plays Jana Novotná in the other ladies' semi-final this afternoon. We'll have that for you in due course. Here's the state of play in the third test match. Australia won the toss and decided to bat. And that's the current score, 126 for 5. You're not missing anything, by the way, because they've got some rain up at Old Trafford too. And on BBC One at the moment, they're showing some highlights. So we've got some recorded items for you on both channels at the moment, I'm afraid. But we're hopeful that live play will resume here at Wimbledon in the not-too-distant future. But at the moment, the courts remain covered.